Hello my viewers and welcome back to my channel. I welcome you to a powerful and thought-provoking discussion. Now today we shine a light on a grave injustice, the wrongful conviction of Marcellus Williams, a black man sentenced to unaliving role despite overwhelming evidence of his innocence. Now in 1998, Marcellus was convicted of a crime he didn't commit, based on unreliable eyewitness testimonies from two individuals with pending criminal cases of their own. Their inconsistent stories and lack of new information raised serious flags. But that's not all. Physical evidence collected at the crime scene, including DNA, handprints, footprints, and hair, does not even match Marcellus. Now, the Missouri Supreme Court's 2017 decision to ignore this exonerating evidence is a stark reminder of systemic failures. Now, members of the palm color community are stepping forward to undo what their own did to a black man. Let's take a look at the videos. I will be right back with more information.
Marcellus Williams is an innocent man who is scheduled to be executed in 8 days. In 1998, Marcellus was convicted of a crime that he did not commit. The bulk of the evidence against him comes from two unreliable eyewitness testimonies. And it's important to note that these two eyewitnesses were given leniency on their own pending criminal cases. Their stories were inconsistent, and the information they provided was stuff that was already known to the general public. There was no new information that they gave to the police. It's important to note that incentivized informers are the leading cause of wrongful convictions in America. So at the scene of the crime, they found footprints, handprints, hair, and DNA on the weapon. The DNA was tested within the last 10 years, and it does not match Marcellus, neither does the handprints, the footprints, or the hair found at the scene of the crime. In 2017, the Missouri Supreme Court sentenced Marcellus to death after not even considering the new DNA evidence that exonerates him. In 2024, a St. Louis prosecuting attorney made to vacate Marcellus's wrongful conviction due to DNA evidence clearing him. However, as of a couple days ago, a St. Louis judge denied the motion. So what can you do to help? Again, we only have 8 days, so we got to remain active on this. Innocence Project has been working with Marcellus, and there is a petition to sign that I've linked in my bio. In addition to this, I also linked the contact information to the county's governor. Please blow up his email and his phone. We cannot be quiet on this. So please keep sharing and please keep talking about this. Time is extremely limited.
This innocent man is going to be ended on September 24th if we don't do anything. Now, this might be the most important thing I've ever talked about, so please listen up. So back in 1998, a woman named Felicia Gale was ended. And this man, Marcellus Williams, was convicted of ending Felicia. Now, with this case against Marcellus, many things do not add up, such as hairs that were found in Felicia Gale's hands that were not from Marcellus. There was improper handling of evidence. DNA that may have belonged to the lead prosecutor and an investigator on the case was found on the weapon that ended Felicia, which indicates improper handling of evidence. No DNA from Marcellus was ever found at the scene of the crime, and Marcellus has maintained his innocence since the very beginning. Even Felicia Gale's own family wants to stop the execution of Marcellus, but as of right now, if nothing else changes, then on September 24th, not only will Marcellus no longer be with us, but an innocent man could also end up paying the ultimate price for a crime that he not only didn't commit, but did not have anything to do with.
Marcellus Williams is set to be executed in less than 60 days for a crime that he did not commit, and we have a pretty good update in his case, so let's get into it. A Missouri attorney named Wesley Bell has filed a motion to hold a hearing that would go over the new DNA evidence that exonerates Marcellus Williams in a case from, I believe, 1999. And the Missouri Supreme Court has just decided that that hearing will, in fact, take place. For context, the Attorney General had filed a motion to try and prevent the meeting from happening. However, it's going to happen on August 21st of this year. The main thing to take away from this is that we are making progress in this case, and it's possible that justice will be served the way that it's meant to, and that Marcellus Williams will get the day in court that he is entitled to, which I think is a really great thing, but we're going to stay updated on this case as more updates continue.
Is about to be executed for a crime he did not commit. His name is Marcellus Williams, and he was convicted of happened way back in the 1990s, and just recently there has been new evidence done by DNA testing on the crime scene that showed that he was not there when Felicia Gale was killed. but the attorney filed this motion, but the court waived it or struck it down and said it wasn't allowed under Missouri law to overturn this type of death sentence. This is kind of insane that the St. Louis Circuit would deny this, because this is now, they're saying they have evidence to prove that this man was not there, but under law, even if they can prove it, he's not allowed to have his sentence overturned. No matter what the laws say, if somebody is sentenced to death, but now we see that, there's DNA evidence to prove they weren't there, this should be changed. The Innocence Project is fighting hard about this. This man's name is Marcellus Williams. Here are things you can do to help this out. First of all, you can tell everyone and share it all over your story. Next is you can text Marcellus, Marcellus, to 97016. This will help, get the word out there. And the last thing you can do is sign the Innocence Project petition that is on their social media page and is linked everywhere. Please look it up and sign this if you want to support this cause. Overall, this is truly insane, and under the horrible, the possibility that they don't get to overturn his sentence because of law, then that law needs to be changed. Let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think about this? Anyone who knows more about the law, please comment and let me know what's going on here. Give me some more detail.
Can you imagine living in a world where we execute people who are actually innocent with proof of their innocence available? Well, congratulations. You don't have to think very hard. That's the world we live in right now. The state of Missouri has decided that Marcellus Williams will still face penalty on September 24th, regardless of the fact that evidence taken directly from the scene of the crime has been re-evaluated and found to prove him innocent. Williams was found guilty of a horrific crime. 42-year-old Lisha Gale, a former reporter and at the time social worker who was 43 times with a kitchen knife, was originally convicted due to the weapon itself. However, it was determined that this evidence was mishandled, and upon further investigation, it actually specifically excludes Williams as a possible suspect. A specific prosecutor by the name of Keith Larner has even come forward to say that he handled the weapon himself up to 5 times before the trial was conducted without gloves. Despite everything, they're saying that the state of Missouri does not support the ability to cancel his execution. So what do we do? Thankfully, the Innocence Project is working with him on trying to get this fixed and to try and save his life.
Now, when you think about September 24th, which is next week, by the way, what do you think? Do you think it's just going to be a regular Tuesday, or do you think of how you have to go to work, or, kids have school, or you have something important coming up? You know what I'm saying? Because for us, is it a regular Tuesday? Yes, but not for Marcellus Williams, because Marcellus Williams is going to be unalived on September 24th if we do not use our voices to stop it. Now, if you want to make a difference, you can sign a petition, and that petition is going to take you less than 30 seconds to sign. So go do it and share Mr. Williams' case, make a TikTok, do a reel. Please just repost, do whatever you have to do, because an innocent person will be unalived for a crime he did not commit on September 2024, which is this month. That's if we won't do nothing about it. Now, according to the story, a former reporter named Felicia Gale was unalived in her house in 1998 during a burglary of the house, and this man, Marcellus Williams, was accused of unaliving Felicia Gale, and he was arrested in 2001 for unaliving her. Now, he's already spent 24 years in prison on an unaliving row, even though DNA evidence already proves that he did not commit this crime. Law enforcement rely on 2 unreliable witnesses who came up to say something they don't even know about, just because of the reward money that was attached to the case. Now, an unaliving raw inmate in Missouri who has long claimed his innocence and is scheduled to be unalived in less than 1 week asked the U.S. Supreme Court on Wednesday for a stay of execution, arguing his due process rights were denied during the years-long legal battle to save his life. Now, Marcellus Williams, 55, was convicted of first-degree unaliving in 2001 in the unaliving of Felicia Gale, a one-time newspaper reporter found unalived in her home in 1998. His execution is set for September 24th. Now, in court documents, lawyers for Williams, not former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens, previously halted Williams' execution indefinitely and formed a board to investigate his case and determine whether he should be granted clemency. Now, the board investigated Williams' case for the next 6 years until Governor Michael Parson abruptly terminated the process, the lawyers write. When Parson took office, he dissolved the board and revoked Williams' stay of execution. The petition notes, Parsons' decision denied Williams his right to due process. Williams' lawyers say the governor's actions have violated Williams' constitutional rights and created an exceptionally urgent need for the court's attention. the court documents state. Now, the St. Louis County prosecuting attorney said earlier this year that there were constitutional errors in Williams' original criminal trial. The court documents state, citing issues including the removal of at least one prospective black juror due to race. Now, these would be key issues for the Board of Inquiry's consideration in whether to recommend clemency instead of execution if the governor had not wrongly dissolved the board, the documents state. Now, prosecutors raised some of those issues in a motion to vacate Williams' conviction, which a judge rejected earlier this month. The NAACP is calling on Parson to hold Williams' execution, noting that the unaliving penalty has been historically applied in a racially disparate manner, particularly in Missouri. Unaliving Mr. Williams, a black man who was wrongfully convicted of unaliving a palm-colored woman, would amount to a horrible miscarriage of justice and a perpetuation of the worst of Missouri's past. NAACP President and CEO Derek Johnson and Missouri State Conference President wrote in an open letter to Parson. Now, on Wednesday, U.S. Rep. Cori Bush also sent a letter to Parson urging him to stop Williams' execution. As lawmakers, we are committed to building a Missouri that is a beacon of justice, and we strive daily to represent the needs and demands of Missourians across the state, the later states. For this reason, we are urging you to immediately commute Mr. Williams' sentence and halt his execution. Now, highlighting the efforts of Williams' attorneys to prove his innocence, Bush said executing Williams would be a grave injustice and would do serious and lasting harm. Now, this is the story of Marcellus Williams, a man condemned to unaliving role despite overwhelming evidence of his innocence. Now, the facts are stark. Marcellus was convicted in 1998 based on unreliable eyewitness testimonies from two individuals who received leniency in their own criminal cases. Now, their stories were riddled with inconsistencies and lacked new information. However, the most damning evidence of Marcellus' innocence comes from the crime scene itself. Handprints, footprints, hair, and DNA on the weapon, none matches Marcellus. Now, this raises a glaring question. If the physical evidence doesn't link Marcellus to the crime, why hasn't law enforcement pursued an investigation to identify the real culprit? The Missouri Supreme Court's 2017 decision to ignore this exonerating evidence raises grave concerns. Now, this case reeks of systemic failure and racial bias. Studies have shown that Black Americans are 12 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted than palm-colored people, and incentivized informants are the leading cause of wrongful convictions. Marcellus' story is a stark reminder of these disturbing trends. We demand answers. Why hasn't law enforcement reopened the investigation? Why has the justice system failed Marcellus repeatedly? It's time for accountability and reform. We call for a thorough investigation to identify the true perpetrator, justice reform to prevent future wrongful convictions, and accountability for those responsible. Marcellus Williams' life hangs in the balance, so let's unite to ensure justice is served. We have finally come to the end of the video, but share your thoughts as well in the comment section. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.